What is going on? This is Shango motherfucking Ray, and I am back with a full moon reading. This is the full moon in Scorpio. Title of this reading is What Lies Beneath. Oh, yes. Yes. It's also the first, I believe, supermoon of the year. So I just got back into town. I am very exhausted. I definitely need to take like a little nap. And so I wanted to thank everybody, who's been signing up for, claiming their 7-day angelic payout. We're doing a rapid cash stimulus ritual, the 7-day angelic payout. And this one is definitely one of the main stars of this one is the Archangel Sachiel. And I find it very funny because Sachiel, one of his or her, its things is removing your blockages, your attachments, your cords to poverty. Some of us have poverty contracts. Some of us have, poverty thought forms and a bunch of other things, that we are attached to that we aren't even aware of, which is what stops us from going where we want to go, financially speaking. But so I'm going to take a nap after this reading. And when I get up, I'm going to answer a bunch of emails and messages that I've had. Because honestly, I actually did have to go take care of, I went out of town, take care of some family business, but I also, it was like, I'm taking mini sabbaticals since at this time, I cannot just take a month off and be a monk, you got to get it and take it and make it when you can. So I've been taking little staycations or little sabbaticals, being selfish with me. And I suggest you do the same. I don't care if it's an hour, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's a whole day, maybe it's a weekend. Take it when you can take it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you are going to need it or already need it. So let's get into this reading. What lies beneath? Well, being that this is a full moon in Scorpio, everybody knows that Scorpio is a very private sign. Very mysterious sign and a sign of secrets. Yes. So you can bet your bottom dollar that the effects of this energy are definitely going to be coming through, especially within the next, I'd say it's already happening, but as it climaxes, I guess you could say, you're looking at a good 2 to 5 days of like, for many people, one of the ways that it's going to happen are you're going to end up coming face to face with some of your deepest, darkest held secrets. I'm talking about the secrets that you hold from yourself. There's the shit we hide from everybody else, but we know about that, but then there's those things that have either been repressed, suppressed, or what have you. So if you can see here now, all these cards actually come up to 74, which is 11, a gateway. It's a motherfucking gateway. A gateway, energetically and spiritually speaking, is obviously when you walk through it, you're different when you go through the other side. It's very transformative. Okay. So as you can see here, you have a Jack of Diamonds, a 5 of Hearts reversed, a King of Diamonds. Then you have a 6 of Clubs and a 4 of Spades. The card on top is an 8 of Diamonds. I just pulled that extra for this particular reading as an extra, spirit advice card. So one of the first things that I was drawn to for this reading was the first 3 cards, actually. to me, there's a story going on about that. The Jack of Diamonds, Five of Hearts, and the King of Diamonds. The way that it came to me was I seen a transformation going on here. The Jack of Diamonds represents somebody who doesn't know their value to me. And unfortunately, when you talk about knowing your worth, knowing your value, blah, blah, and also knowing your values, like what is important to you, because you always hear me talk about that shit because that runs your behavior. You understand? It determines what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. It determines whether that relationship is going to work out or not, whether it's romantic, whether it's business, It's very, very importante. But to me, for this reading, this Jack of Diamonds is showing me somebody who maybe it's in one particular area of their life that they have this deficit of what you might call self-esteem, self-worth, or they view themselves, self-image, as less than in a particular area. Okay? And what I definitely see here is basically going to resonate or going to reiterate what I just said a minute ago about things coming from deep within. What lies beneath? What lies beneath what, Shango? Well, what lies beneath in your subconscious mind, in your spiritual and etheric bodies? What's in there? Well, you're going to find out. But what I'm seeing here, okay, so let me backtrack just a little bit. So as I said before, and I go off of first impressions when I read, and then if more comes along, I know, okay, I'm in the right place. So I'm seeing that there's somebody out there who, you've been devaluing yourself, looking at yourself. And I'm going to tell you actually what it is. And I see this a lot, and I feel this in my being right now. Some of you are actually going to be able to cast this off, but a lot of you are walking around with a self-image that is not yours. You're actually borrowing or using, or you have adopted somebody else's opinion of yourself or some other people's opinions of yourself into this amalgamation of whatever it is that you think you are now. And that is basically a mask. You may not be aware that you're wearing it. That's when you really start getting into the deeper shit, when you start going below the surface of who you are. That's where you'll find out these things. And, some of you live in such anxiety based off of this particular identity. Anxiety about, for some reason too, I don't know where this came from, but I feel that many of you suffer from an anxiety of time, a fear of time. Let me explain myself. A fear like, I'm going to give you an example, like that you don't have enough time or that you're running out of time. In a day, for example, you go to sit down to do a project, to start to work on something. And yes, it's going to take maybe a lot of work, but the feeling of overwhelm just rushes in. And you start getting this kind of quiet scream of anxiety in the background that say like, you don't have time for this right now. Like, just put this off to some other time, just whatever. And I'm sure if you look back and say, hey, man, if I had actually just started, if I just did 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever, something small, something incredulously small, then how far along would you be? But you see, what I see here between this Jack and this King, I see some butterfly action going on. I see some caterpillar action going on. I see some cocooning, some breaking down to the last compound, because your shit is actually transforming. I don't want to say it's about to, because the breakdown is a part of the transformation. So remember, Scorpio is about death and rebirth. And of course, my favorite subject, sex, so I'm witnessing a lot of you going through this mini death and rebirth around this time. These energies are, are assisting and facilitating this to happen. Some of you are going to be struck with instantaneous spiritual bitch slaps. See my video on spiritual bitch slaps, but basically it's an aha or an epiphany, but more so spiritually based, not just like a a mundane aha. It's one of those ahas that can, send shockwaves throughout your whole reality, in your whole life. Everything gets transformed, even if just slightly. And even if just so subtly, it gets transformed because you're transformed. So your experience of everything you come across, wherever your foot treads, even if it doesn't appear, even if it isn't, apparent at first, it's happening. Another thing that's been coming to my mind too when I think about this shit is how two things that you can't even see can come together and create a full-blown human fucking being. There's a scene in this movie, one of my favorite movies, Big Trouble in Little China, where this guy, this old sorcerer, Chinese sorcerer, is explaining to an attorney what had happened. And the attorney says, "You really want me to believe in Chinese sorcery and all this other shit?" And the little old man raises both of his hands like he's making a chi ball or something, but a little bolt of lightning shoots across his hands, and the attorney is astounded. And Egg Shen, that's the old man, he looks at the attorney and says, "See, that was nothing, but that's how it always begins, very small." And for some reason, that scene and those words keep bouncing around in my head. I thought about, what is the biggest creature on this planet? And it's a sperm whale. So I thought, how big is a sperm whale's sperm? Now, there's certain measurements for sperm and all this shit that I don't remember what it was. But did you know a human sperm is almost twice as big as a sperm whale's sperm? But yet that little tiny sperm becomes the biggest creature on this planet. What is really big always starts very, very small. One of the biggest plants, the mustard. You all know this one. It's famous. The mustard seed one. The mustard plant is one of the hugest fucking plants with one of the smallest seeds. There's that polarity, duality shit going on there. But I see this transformation here. And I want to encourage you, because a lot of you do some type of ritual, or you make some type of change, and you're instantly looking around in your environment, in your reality, for some sign, something that's going to change, that shows it's happening now. And it's like, you got to chill the fuck out. Like, we are so in a rush. Once again, that anxiety about time. What are you in a rush for? You planning on going somewhere? You planning on checking out of here? If that's the case, then what the fuck's it matter? And especially with this energetic and spiritual and emotional shit. Do not underestimate, people, the power of compound interest. Because when you begin something such as like what's going to be happening for many of you will almost seem frivolous, will almost seem like, it's going to seem like nothing. But like I said, out of two nothings, little egg and a little sperm, you can't even see them. It's like they're nothing. They come together, they form a full-blown 6'5" human being. Or they form a fucking sperm whale. There is a certain point at which that compound interest kicks in. Yes, at first, many times, not all the time, but many times, you're not going to see much at first. And then, of course, there's the old phrase, a watched pot never boils. If you're watching the pot, you have an attachment to it. That attachment is only going to elongate the time between creation, when you think of it, when you cast it, when you do it, and manifestation, when it materializes. Or when whatever. But this is not about outside material things materializing or anything. This is about you. And the changes that you're probably already going through, or you're on the precipice of going through right now. I'll put my money on you're already going through it. You probably just don't realize how far into it. Like, if you're the caterpillar in the cocoon, you don't even really realize that you're turning into sludge. And you must turn into sludge first before you get your wings. This 5 of hearts down here, restlessness, that anxiety, that kind of just all over the fucking place. Some of you are going through transformations because of, maybe events, situations, circumstances, or people that have kind of soured your heart, hurt you, pierced you, whatever have you. It's a part of your process, yo. It's not happening to you. It really is happening for you. And I'm not trying to get all Tony Robbins on your ass, but it really is true. Well, I can't say it really is true because only you can choose to see it that way. But a big part of these 3 cards too for me, because if you look at the cards, the Jack is actually turning into the King of Diamonds. Growing in stature, size, power, wisdom. Because of the tension from this 5 of hearts reversed. This souring of the heart. This broken heart. This, whatever you want to call it. Spirit just told me some of you need to have a fucking funeral. You ain't had a funeral yet. And you need to make that space. Because you need to make that space if you need to mourn, if you need to cry it out, whatever you need to do to come to your realization. Because some of you are fighting certain things, not accepting certain things. I'm talking about way deep, way up in your ass. Deep is where you need to let go. And how do you let go? By accepting whatever it is that you need to accept. Maybe it's some shit from 5-10 years ago. Maybe it's shit from 20 years ago. Maybe it's something that happened 2 weeks ago. Maybe last week. But whatever it is, because when you have the funeral, you're serious about moving on. You're serious about getting on down the road of your path. But as long as you keep distracting yourself, you're just basically prolonging some type of inevitable collapse or eruption or something like that. And that's not why I'm telling you you should have a funeral. Not to avoid some bad event or some breakdown or some anything like that. I'm more concerned about not what you're trying to run from, but where you're trying to run to. And what that means for you. And yes, 6 of clubs, your intuition is going to be highly sensitive. Your guides are going to be they got full bars on their shit. So when you need them, call them. They're going to be here for you. You're not alone in whatever you're going through. Even if you actually technically are alone or by yourself. You're not. And so your intuition is going to be giving you mad data, major info, major downloads, major spiritual bitch slaps or ahas, epiphanies, instantaneous twinkly changes of the eye. Wait, that came out wrong. Changes in the twinkle of an eye. That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Catharsis, spontaneous releasing of emotions, which is energy that's been probably trapped in your system somewhere. It definitely is trapped in your body somewhere. Now is the time to remove these cords. But before you go doing that, over the next few days, make sure you make some time to just sit with yourself. I know I say this, but I can't emphasize how important right now. It's a gateway, right? You don't have to walk through it. You can just walk by it, okay? And keep doing the same shit you want to if you want. I don't really give a fuck, personally, you know what I mean? But if you are interested in traversing your way down the road, being all you can fucking be, then you're going to walk through that door. And your intuition is going to be there. But in order to hear your intuition, you need to be able to make some time or some space for that. You really do. You really, really do. And I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to you. A lot of you who actually do this work, when you hear do the work, right? That's what it's talking about. It's facing, it's owning up to your shit, accepting it. Not even trying to accept it just to rush it out. Okay, I accept you're here. Now, could you please go? When I say accept it, I mean with every fiber of your fucking being. And you will notice the difference if you just try this. If you actually tell it, you know what? Take as long as you need. I see you. I hear you. Hell, I even appreciate you. So much pain in the ass have you been to me. But I know that it's been a pain in the ass to me because of the way I've treated you. The way I've treated it, you know what I'm saying? Or not treated. The way I've just ignored your ass shit. So, that's the work. And believe me, there is wisdom in those things, in those emotions, in those, all that shit. You will never get it. You will never hear it. You will never realize it. You will never integrate. You will never be a fully integrated person if you keep suppressing, if you keep second guessing, if you keep ignoring. Just straight up, flat out ignoring. Okay, if I don't look at this motherfucker, they're not there. No, they're still there. It's still there. It may just change tactics as far as how it tries to get your attention. But all of this is equating to a new level of being grounded in your body. Being grounded. Because when you're grounded in your body, you're going to be grounded in your life. If you start feeling all kinds of weird, energetic shit, tension and all this from like your chest upwards, you're in your fucking head more than likely. You're not even in your body. What do I mean by being in your body? It's just like becoming, it's cultivating that awareness. You know, what do my feet feel like on the ground? It's something as simple and as stupid as that. What does my ass feel like as it sits on this chair? You know? How's my dick hanging to the left feel? You know? How do your titties feel in your bra? Can you feel your bra on your titties? On your nipples? You know? Taking your awareness and putting it into your body. Where do you feel tension? You may feel it in your gut. You might feel it in your chest. You might feel it here, there, wherever. You know? And as you start to just do these little simple things like, okay, I'm going to just ground and just, you know, keep some of my attention, not all, just some of my attention on like my breathing and just, you know, you don't try and rush that tension out because that just makes more tension. That's like tension versus tension. Who's going to win? Tension. So you go about it by, once again, first of all, just be like, okay, I see you there. No problem. And you're not doing it like with an agenda. Like I'm not pretending to accept this particular feeling maybe I have in my stomach or in my chest, or maybe, I don't know, emotionally I'm feeling a certain way. And I'm not just, yeah, I accept you, because it's like I'm trying to just get you the fuck out of here. You know, like you actually just allow it to be there. But now you're aware of it. See, because most of the time people ain't aware of what the hell's going on. I say this all the time. You know, they're not aware of what the fuck is going on. It's like these are like waves, and you got a surfboard. You can catch this wave and go for a hell of a ride. Or you can just sit there and sit on your surfboard and just kind of like paddle your feet and not do shit. That's up to you. That's up to you. Card of advice here. 8 of Diamonds. And I kind of, there's a certain sentiment that's kind of echoed here. I believe I've said this before somewhere else. I know I have, but I don't remember. It doesn't matter. And it's about a change of values. It's about establishing a higher criteria for yourself. With the knowledge, the confidence, the trust that you will live. If you set the bar higher for yourself, you're going to live up to your own bar. If you set your own thermostat higher, your temperature is going to match your thermostat. It's going to get there. You know, a lot of you are going to have somebody, you know, Spirit came to me and was like, someone's going to have like a six figure time here as a result of them doing just some of these minor energetic and emotional things. Or even just like, when I say a minor or energetic emotional thing, even just like, just admitting to yourself you fucking feel this particular way. You may not even know why. If you know why, hey, I feel this way because this, man, shit. Maybe you never tell a soul. That doesn't matter. It's not to tell a soul. It's for you. But there is somebody hearing this video, like, as a result of your work here, and it may come quite fast. A couple months. It's a 6-figure payout. A motherfucking 6-figure. I'm tempted to say, shit, I'll do like they do in the church. I claim that, you know. Shit, I'll claim that. Ain't nobody stepping up for that. I'll claim it. But things are going up for those who do their little work here. Okay? That's all I cannot emphasize enough. These things are coming up because this is the gateway for you. These doorways are popping up. Walk through that motherfucker, yo. Like, what are you going to do? Wait for another one? It's here. It's now. This is Shango Ray. And you have been full moon energized. You have had your full moon energization. Okay. Anyways, hope y'all are well. And I'm just looking at the cards again real fast. Just for any last thing that may want to come through. Yeah, man. And even if, you know what, too, thank you. You may not have, it may not be 6 figures, but hey, who's gonna hate on a high or mid 5 figures either? Okay? Because some of y'all are going to another tax bracket. And you would never guess that it goes like, okay, all this tax bracket change, upward motion in the tax bracket category is a result of this shit over here. You would never, no detective on earth would be able to connect the dots here. But it is true. And it's going to be true for you too. Okay, now I'm not saying every single one of you is going to have, but you will have your own. And a lot of times it ain't about money. It's about other things. It's about who the fuck you're being in this world. Who are you being in your world? Some of you haven't been living authentically for quite some time. And that shit is taking its toll on you. Your spirit is decaying. When you tap into your shit and start getting on your path and start working on what the fuck you came here to do, you will see your whole fucking life 180 and flip around. Just flip flap around. Flim flam. It's shocking. And it's shocking what it does to you just as a person when somebody looks in your fucking eyes. And even if you ain't making any sound, you know what I'm saying? Just the light coming out of your fucking eyes. Who's behind them eyes? This is Shango Ray. I hope y'all are well. Happy Sunday. And like I said, I'm going to end up taking a nap and a little short 30, 45 minute nap. And then I'm going to answer some questions. And answer questions and emails that I've got a bunch of emails and messages that I had to just put it all to the side for about a day or two. Straight up. I'm going to keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I got to do that. I have to do that. I got to take my time or else my time will be took. So hope y'all are well. It's my intention this reading serve you to the highest good. Peace.